I would imagine they can climb back from it, yes. But let's be clear. There's a 17 billion service order book, billion euros order book, and that is delivering service on installed wind farms and in wind turbines for quite a number of years ahead, 5 years ahead, sometimes even 10-year contracts. And to discover that a handful of your components aren't working as you planned, that maybe you'll need to go in and replace those components, that is a very large liability that you've taken on. Now, they've indicated there is somewhere between 15 and 30% of the installed fleet is where some of these component failures may be occurring. They think it isn't beyond that number. But the reality is, that is a big hit. And it does leave a slight question mark as to where that liability ends. With luck, when they report back in the beginning of August, they will have managed to put some sort of brackets around the scale of the cost here and the scale of the obligations ahead of them. But no, certainly it is an alarmingly large hit. And I think it's taken the market by surprise.
Well, there's the scale of the liability, but then also let's talk about accountability, because these issues seem to surprise the market and keep popping up. As you say, they were not flagged before. Who should bear responsibility for entering into this deal without having done a full due diligence about potential problems that could arise?
That's an excellent question. At the company level, clearly Gamesa has to take some responsibility. As the CEO mentioned on the call, there does appear to have been some kind of cultural issue within the company that maybe certain issues have been swept under the carpet, was the wording he used. So I think to one extent, you may be able to isolate this to maybe designs not being carefully thought through enough, maybe not enough internal diligence. But I think to be fair to Siemens Energy here, you've also got to take it to the industry level, is that the wind turbine industry has gone through rapid pace of expansion. We've achieved lowering the levelized cost of wind partly through making bigger turbines, and bigger turbines bring certain risks in the sense that you haven't maybe had as much operational testing time, you maybe haven't had just as much time in use. It does appear somewhat unfair that the entire risk of effectively a commercially immature industry sits on the turbine manufacturers themselves. Now, whether there will be some recourse to the supply chain, which it's too early to tell at the moment. As you probably know from this, people like Gamesa, GE, Vestas, the supply chain they do quite a lot in-house. They also do outsource quite a bit, and they all do it a little bit differently. So again, you have a slightly immature supply chain situation. We do need to start raising some big strategic questions. What is the right buy versus build strategy? What is the right risk versus reward when it comes to putting out brand new big pieces of kit? How much of that risk reward should be shared with the actual operator of the wind farm itself?